Hey y'all, this is Cliff with the Dusty Cliffs, and today we want to talk about the 5 C's of survivability, and we want to do that with things you can find just laying around your house, in your cabinets, and your cupboards. So you hold on, we'll be right back. Okay, so the whole idea of this video is to find things that you have already in your home that were not bought with the intention of survival or for prepping or anything like that. The first C is cutting. So we need a knife or a pair of scissors or shears, something that we can process food if we had to, cut cordage if needed. So I went in the cabinets, and first thing I found was this very large stainless steel Chinese knife. Now, I'm not a cook. I don't know what this is intended for exactly, but this would be fine for processing game if you had to, and maybe even shaving down some fire sticks or some feather sticks, things like that. So we have that one. Then I have what sort of a serrated steak knife, which is very flexible, and honestly I think that would scale a fish or clean fish very easily. Definitely cut cordage. So there, I've got 2 for my cutting, just right out of the kitchen cabinet. Not survival purposed, but can be used. Alright, the second one is combustion. Now you might need to start a fire to boil water or to stay warm. So combustion was sort of an easy one to find because everybody probably has the old lighter that you use for barbecues, or just a Bic lighter laying around. That one was pretty easy. You don't need, right now especially, you don't need to worry about trying to start a fire with a bow drill or anything like that, because right now there's plenty of lighters laying around. So these were found in the cabinet. This is your second C, combustion, that you can find probably anywhere. Every house in America probably has something like this. Okay, the third C is cordage. Now cordage you might need if you need to make a shelter, or if you need to hang some meat or anything like that. I mean, cordage is for everything. Everywhere you look, something's tied together with a cord or used a cord. And since we don't want to use something that was intended for that purpose, because I have hundreds of feet of paracord laying around. Even my rifle slings are made of paracord, because if I had to use it, I could cut that sling apart and have 60-70 feet of cordage. So the quickest, simplest cordage that I found laying around the house, this just took me a couple minutes, and my wife's going to be mad when she wakes up, because I took some shoestrings. Now shoestrings, if you get some decent shoestrings that you can get a good knot in, you can tie just about anything you need with that. And you can tie several of them together, and if you get some of the like boot strings, some of those probably about 10 feet long if you wear like 8-inch to 10-inch high top work boots. So the cordage, combustion, and cutting, and I am reading this to make sure I get it all right, that's why I'm looking over there. But so cordage, cutting, and combustion we have covered just right here in the house. I didn't go to the store. This stuff was already here. So let's move on. Alright, the fourth C is container. And really you want a container that's going to be metal, preferably stainless steel, so that you could sit it in a fire or some hot coals and boil water. So I just looked in the cabinet, and I think this one is my daughter's. This one is, by the look of the symbol here, this is an Ozark Trail. This is a stainless steel bottle with this big plunger style sealed lid. So it's probably about 1 liter of water that you could carry in this. You could boil the water in this. So something like this, probably, I don't know where they got, when they bought this. I didn't buy it, so they probably paid $6-7 for this. And this was in the cabinet, and there was several other ones in there, different styles. Like I said, preferably stainless steel if you can get it. Aluminum will work. Plastic, like the Nalgene bottles, those are great containers for carrying water. But if you're going to use that for purification, you're going to have to do the old get the rocks hot, drop them in, boil the water from the inside out. So something like this would be great. Also, if you don't have something that's covered, I stole my cat's food bowl, which is stainless steel, because if I needed to boil water in something and I didn't have a container, I could use this bowl right here. It's got a lot of surface area. Now you'd have to peel this rubber off or let it burn off in the fire and this paint burn off. But you could boil water in that, but I wouldn't consider that container, but we could use that if we needed to. And it's a cat. She can eat off the floor, she don't care. This is just a cute little bowl. So I think something like this, if that's all you had, would work great for a container. So moving on. Okay, the fifth C is cover. Now this one was a little harder because most of the stuff I have at home that is not purpose built or purpose made for outdoors or survival isn't waterproof. So I think the best thing that you can do, if you don't have a really good tarp, and some of the tarps are large and bulky and heavy, if you have a canvas tarp, those are definitely heavy. Those are really good tarps for this type of stuff, but most people aren't going to have one of those that's not purpose built for survival or anything like that. So I think, and if you got a better idea, throw it down there in the comments, because I am all ears. And that's not because I have big ears, so I don't want to hear that. Alright? But a heavy duty plastic bags. Now this is a really durable bag. It takes a lot to tear this one. But if I had to, I could cut a hole in it, make a poncho. If I had a couple of them, I could definitely tie them up, use them as a shelter. Maybe even cover myself with one of these little $5 cotton blankets that I got from the Five Below store. So I think cover, basically, if you had to use plastic, would really be the thing to go with. That's cheap, easy, and you probably already have around the house in the form of trash bags or lawn bags. If you have the big contractor bags, those things are great because they are really big. You could lay one on the ground and then use one as a cover over top. And if you had to, you could stuff the one on the ground with some leaves to get your thermals up away from the ground. So I think plastic bags are the way to go on cover, because they can be used for so many different things. Okay, that's just a quick video covering the 5 C's of survivability with things that we can find laying around the house. Now I know Dave Canterbury, Corporal's Corner, I believe they have extended that out to a 10C for even more things that you can do. So you might want to go check those guys out. They have some awesome content, and they're the guys I go to a lot to watch their stuff. They're awesome, but I want you to like and subscribe to this channel too. So y'all come back and we'll talk again. Y'all stay safe. We'll get through this. I'll talk at you later.